It was a quiet morning in a small town. The sun was soft, not yet strong, and the streets were still empty. In the corner of a narrow lane stood a little stationery shop. Its wooden sign swung slowly in the breeze, creaking every now and then. Inside the shop, a boy named Aman sat behind the counter. He was 17 years old, tall and thin, with gentle eyes. In front of him, there were piles of notebooks, jars of pens, and stacks of colored papers. He had been working here for 2 months, helping his uncle. Aman had big dreams. He wanted to become an artist. He imagined himself painting large canvases, full of bright colors, in a studio by the sea. But there was one problem: he could not stay focused. Whenever he started drawing, his mind wandered. He would think about the songs he had heard in the morning. Or he would look out the window and imagine traveling to faraway cities. Before he knew it, hours had passed, and his work was unfinished. One afternoon, as Aman was sketching in the shop, a customer walked in. It was an old man with a long white beard, wearing a simple gray coat. He carried a small cloth bag in his hand. "Good afternoon," the man said, smiling. "I need a new notebook." Aman stood up and showed him a few choices. The old man took his time, flipping through the pages, feeling the texture. Finally, he picked one with a dark blue cover. Before leaving, he looked at Aman's half-finished sketch on the counter. It was a drawing of a little boy flying a kite, but the kite was only half-colored. "You draw well," the man said softly, "but your picture is not complete." Aman felt a little embarrassed. "Yes," he said, "I get distracted easily." The man nodded slowly, as if he understood. Then he said something strange. "Focus is like the sun. When its light is spread everywhere, it feels warm. But when it is gathered in one point, it can burn through anything." Aman did not fully understand, but the man smiled, paid for the notebook, and left. That night, Aman's mind returned again and again to those words. He thought about the sun, and how it could be soft in the morning, but fierce when focused through a magnifying glass. Perhaps his mind worked in the same way. The next day, Aman decided to try something new. He placed a small note on his desk. One thing at a time. When he started sketching, he told himself he would not think about anything else for the next 30 minutes. At first, his thoughts tried to pull him away. He remembered a song, then the smell of his favorite food, then a memory from school. But he kept returning to his pencil, line by line, shade by shade. Half an hour later, he looked down and saw that the kite in his picture was finished. It was bright red, with tiny golden threads. Aman felt a small wave of happiness. This was the first time in weeks he had completed something in one sitting. Days turned into weeks. Each morning, Aman practiced focusing on just one thing at a time. When he swept the shop floor, he thought only about the broom moving back and forth. When he arranged the pens, he noticed their colors, their sizes, their shine. And when he drew, he gave himself fully to the paper in front of him. Slowly, his sketches began to change. They were no longer rushed or uneven. Each one had more detail, more life, more feeling. Customers who came to the shop started noticing. One woman pointed to a sketch of flowers on the counter and asked, "Did you make this? Can I buy it?" Aman's cheeks grew warm. He had never sold a drawing before. But she insisted, and soon, more people began asking for his work. One evening, just before closing, the same old man returned. He looked around the shop and saw Aman's new drawings on display. There were landscapes, portraits, and even a painting of the shop itself. Each one was complete. "You have been working hard," the man said with a smile. "Yes," Aman replied, "I remembered what you told me. I learned that when I focus, even for a short time, I can do more than I imagined." The old man's eyes softened. "That is the secret," he said. "Most people waste their light. They scatter it on too many things. But when you give your light to one thing, it grows warm, alive, and sometimes, it changes your life." Aman understood now. His dream of becoming an artist no longer felt far away. It was not about rushing or doing everything at once. It was about giving each moment, each drawing, his full attention. Months later, Aman's work was shown in a small local exhibition. People walked slowly past his paintings, smiling, pointing, and taking photographs. His uncle stood beside him, proud and quiet, and in the crowd, Aman spotted the old man with the gray coat, watching from a corner. Their eyes met, and Aman gave a small nod of thanks. The man nodded back, then disappeared into the crowd, leaving Aman to greet his first real audience. From that day on, whenever Aman felt his mind drifting, he would pause. He would remember the image of the sun, and how it could burn through paper when focused. He would remind himself, one thing at a time, and with that, his work, and his life, continued to grow brighter.